We're going to hold out as long as it takes.
This is a steal of 5 seats mid-decade in violation of our Texas Constitution to try to rig the next election to the benefit of Trump.
This is racial gerrymandering. It is so difficult for minorities to even try to listen to Republicans because they consistently coddle people like neo-Nazis.
Texas Democrats doubling down on their threat to hold out on a redistricting vote in the State House of Representatives after ignoring the deadline to return to work on Friday. Fox News contributor Mary Katharine Ham joins us now. Something about raw politics that just really gets me excited in the morning. It's like the smell of napalm in the morning. I just love it more than anything. The idea that these Democrats are also like threatening, oh, yeah, if you're going to do it, we're going to do it. No, it's not going to work because they've already done it everywhere. There's no more blood to squeeze out of the stones in places like California and Massachusetts.
This is what I'm saying. They're like, it's tit for tat. And then the Democrats are like, you done tatted so hard, you can't tat no more. Right. It's everything's off the board for you. But look, I don't think anything's going to come of holding out on this. Generally, when legislators run away from their state, and it's generally Democrats from Wisconsin, from Indiana, from Texas 4 times, I believe, during the 2000s, once in Oregon by Republicans, the actual thing the legislature is trying to do doesn't change. They don't generally win that fight by running away. Right. You win the fight by staying in your state, proving that you can represent people, winning the legislature, and then winning fights. So they're missing a bunch of steps in the middle here, and it's not going to get corrected by staying in another state.
Yeah, well, speaking of their missing all of the script these days, Democrats are starting to sort of wake up and realize that maybe they're losing the Sydney Sweeney fight. A former Kamala Harris deputy campaign manager and Hillary Clinton staffer penned an op-ed skewering Democrats for losing again on the culture war. This one about Sydney Sweeney. He says, the Sydney Sweeney saga shows why Republicans keep winning. Democrats will struggle until the media ecosystem changes. Going further, the fact that this became, meaning the Sweeney thing, became a moment at all says even more about why Democrats keep losing the culture war. There's a fundamental asymmetry between the left's information ecosystem and the right's. The Sydney Sweeney affair has only underscored the political consequences of leaving the gap unaddressed. No one is going to vote on what Democrats think about Sydney Sweeney. They may well vote on whether or not the broader left is out of step with them culturally. 2 things I love about this. First of all, he's talking about Sydney Sweeney. And the first thing about politics is if you're talking about what the enemy wants to talk about, you're losing. The second thing is he's not talking about the issues. The reason the reason Donald Trump is having such a field day is because he talked about issues people care about.
Yeah, he does something here, which is that he recognizes that this is signaling to people that the left is a buzzkill, and it is led by its too far online, too far left TikTok crazies, right? Now, he attributes this to like right-wing amplification of these facts, but the facts remain. Right? The fact that you're a buzzkill was not created by us. Y'all own most of the mainstream media. The issue is that the mainstream media follows the TikTok crazies, and then the American people are like, no, we think that's crazy. So that's what's happening here. But you're right. Is he addressing kitchen table issues? No, he's saying we need to build a different media ecosystem, which is funny because, again, they own most of what has existed up until now. The problem is that what has existed up until now, Colbert being a perfect example, has failed to entertain or inform or be trusted by the American people. So now they listen to other sources, and those other sources don't do crazy things like say Sydney Sweeney is a problem, right? Everyone else looks around and is like, I don't think this is a problem.
You're a Nazi if you think Sydney Sweeney's hot.
Yeah. It's just silliness all around. And like,
Truly.
I think there could be a point that a lot of this is more TikTok voices than it is mainstream voices. But Good Morning America was the first place I saw a segment on this where they had a professor on to explain why the TikTok crazies were correct.
Exactly. Mary Katharine Ham, thank you for getting up so early with us this morning.
Of course. Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.